Hey guys, just a warning, and I apologize that this entire episode is basically filmed out of focus. So, really sorry, I was in a rush to get this done because I didn't really have a lot of time this weekend to film it, so I apologize.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 3 of the Curse of Crystal Cove, and this week's episode is obviously episode 3, The Secret of the Ghost Rig. So let's jump right into it. Also, I realize I've never shouted out this channel. Mysteries Supply Company is this channel that has a bunch of cute little, it has sounds and stuff, but obviously I don't want to get copyrighted because it has Scooby-Doo music kind of stuff. So anyways, they're awesome for the video watchers. Again, I feel like I'm always apologizing for the audio listeners. Anyways, the cold open is a cop that has a teenager that's pulled over, and then he's like, "Do you know that you were speeding?" And the kid was like, "Yes." And then the cop just goes, "All right, as long as you know, drive safe." And then, ooh, look at the background. As this cop has this kid pulled over, somebody, or a big truck, speeds by, and the cop's like, "Oh god, I gotta go get this guy. He's driving so fast and it's so unsafe." And then this cop, catches up to this semi and is, terrified because it's this big semi. It's got a bunch of, algae and stuff and, flames shooting out from it. And he's like, "Excuse me, are you aware that you are speeding?" And then the truck, drives him off the road and down a cliff. And he was on a motorcycle, and the motorcycle goes into the water, and then this cop is just hanging on a branch, and then cold open ends, and you're like, what the heck? Where'd this truck come from? Anyways, the actual episode starts off as the kids are in City Hall. It's the entire gang minus Daphne. And quickly Velma's like, "Oh, Daphne's not here. She had to do something at home, but she definitely would have been here if she could have. I promise you." And then Fred's still not getting it, His dad called him in, and, they all went in support. And I, totally understand that, because, oh my god, I did not realize how fucking messy my one Squishmallow is. She needs some stain remover. So much chocolate. But yeah, no, I totally get that, because, me and my friends, we don't like doing things alone. All of us are like, do somebody want to go run errands with me? So, I understand, even if I just have to go to Target, I would rather do it with people. So, I totally get their dynamic, their group dynamic. So, Fred sees his dad, and his dad is like, I just need you to make pamphlets, or copy pamphlets for me so he can get reelected. And his dad says that there's 40,000. He wants him to make 40,000. And I was like, ain't no way that the Crystal Cove population is that much. Do you think that the Crystal Cove population is more than 40,000? Because, to me, that sounds like definite, obviously the population and then some. So, each person gets, 2, 3, 4 pamphlets. I can't imagine that it's a huge town, because it seems or area, I don't know what it's considered, but I feel I don't know. I just don't. I'm not buying that. Especially just a mayor, unless it's but it doesn't look like a city. I don't know. Anyways, so then it shifts quickly to Daphne at home, and she's with her parents are like, "Hey, can you come downstairs? We want you to meet somebody." And then everybody's introduced to Ron Latterton, and first of all, his name, amazing. So it's this rich guy. He's a teenager. His dad, I guess, started or owns the ladder company. For one, I just love, their last name is Latterton. That's amazing. And then they named their son Ron. That's literally comedy gold, I would say. But he's this super self-centered guy that is just haha, nice to meet me, sort of thing. So obviously Daphne doesn't like him because, she likes Freddie, and Freddie is a very selfless guy, After he leaves, her parents are like, "Oh, we want you to give him a chance, maybe date him." And then she's like, "Well, what about Freddie?" And they're like, "But but are you guys actually dating? And she was like, no, but like, it still feels like I'm cheating on a friend. So like, poor Daphne, you know, she's still just like so down bad for Fred, but she just doesn't want to give him up. But she's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, you know, I'll go on like one date with this guy. Okay, just to like, you know, make her parents happy, like get them off her back, basically. And then goes back to City Hall, and Scooby breaks the copier, as he was trying to help, you know, make copies. And then as it breaks, ink goes everywhere, and it splatters all over new character, George Avocados. George Avocados. Depends on who, you know, you're talking to. And then you are introduced that he is Fred's dad's running mate, so he's also running for mayor. And then you find out about like the rivalry that he has. So you find out that his dad was mayor, and then his dad was accused of stealing a diamond from Crystal Cove, and they convicted him and everything, but like they never found the diamond. But his dad still like went to jail, and then George Avocados is like, my dad's innocent. Anyways, I mean his grandfather, grandfather, whatever it was. But his dad's dead. That was so blunt. I didn't mean it like that. Anyways, so it cuts to the gang back together, and then they're all like, let's go get food. So they go to the clam cabin, and then the doorknob is missing, and the captain was like, yeah, somebody stole it, so we're closed. So obviously, like, you know, they're all sad because they're not gonna get food. So then Velma tells Shaggy that she has food back at her place. You know, obviously she's being like, let's go back to my house. And then Scooby just like drops his tongue, and then Shaggy's like, nah, we got it covered. Scooby got the entire map of all the pizza joints in Crystal Cove tattooed on his tongue. What? I love that so much. It's so, like, that is not something that would process. That'd be so far away of, like, thinking about something like that. Like, that is so funny. That is so funny. Like, first of all, a dog getting a tattoo, and on his tongue, and of all the pizza joints specifically, that is so funny. I know I don't need to explain to you that it's funny, but it is. And like I said, the writers of this show are literally just, they're so good. They're so gold. They're so talented. I love them so much. Anyways. Oh, and then, so then it cuts to all of them back in the van, and everybody's talking about like how they heard that there's missing doorknobs at school and at where Velma's parents have the shop. And then, the ghost truck comes out of nowhere, and it like runs them off the road. And then it looked like they were like going into the ocean, but they just went down to a lower road. And then the truck comes back, and then they do end up losing it. And then it cuts to the sheriff, like there at the scene, like taking notes. And Scooby is just like speaking gibberish, and he's like, and then the sheriff just like completely understands him, and he's like, oh, so you're saying that this ghost truck like disappeared like a ghost? And Scooby was like, yeah, pretty much. But one, I love that the sheriff can understand Scooby, because that's iconic. Oh, and then the sheriff was like, so you guys like have stumbled onto the newest tourist attraction. That's awesome. I love that. It's so funny because like the sheriff being like, we want more tourism too. But it's like, why does he need tourism? Isn't it like bad for him to have so many like haunted things just like come to this area, or like ghost like attractions? Doesn't that mean it's less safe and more people are like, we don't want to be there because it's not safe? But I don't know, maybe all the adults in that world are even dumb in that regard. I don't know. I don't know. So sheriff like leaves, and then Fred is looking at the road, and he's like, Daphne, give me your camera phone. And I was like, I love that. I just get so nostalgic for that kind of stuff, because I had a minute phone. I had a Motorola minute phone. And it was for like emergencies and stuff, obviously. But I was like, oh my god, I'm so cool. I think I was in like 5th grade. But like, did y'all have flip phones? Did y'all have camera phones. Let me know what kind of phones that you guys had growing up. Just want to know for nostalgia purposes, you know? Fred gets her camera phone, and then he takes a picture with the flash, and then he's like, there's tire tracks. And they're like, why would a ghost truck leave tire tracks? And then Daphne's phone rings, and Fred's just like, hi, this is Daphne's phone. And then it's rung, and he's like, okay, yeah, our date is like, we're still on for, I don't remember if it was like later today or whatever it was. But he like talks as if it's Daphne, and it's like, obviously Freddy's voice is clearly not Daphne's, and I love that one, you know, more like self-indulgent guy. So, you know, Fred being oblivious, being a silly little guy, being like, oh my god, you're going on a date at the Bloody Steak? Okay, queen. Like, you know, that's literally him. And he's just like, I love my friends. And, okay. I love Freddy. He's just like a little innocent guy. So later it goes back to City Hall, and then Daphne is not with them, so it's just, again, gang minus Daphne, and they're like, okay, all the doorknobs are missing here, too. After they realize all the doorknobs are missing, Fred's like, alright, guess we're gonna set up a trap. And then, like, once they're done, Angel calls, and Angel's like, yo, I found out this info about those kind of tires that, like, you know, you sent me the picture. There's like 2 people that I've recently bought it in Crystal Cove. One was, like G. Nernal Truddle or something like that. Oh my god, how did I remember that? I mean, I know I watched it last night, but still. And then the other one was George Avocados, and they're like, what the heck? George Avocados? Bad guy. Fred's dad ends up getting caught in the trap, and he's like, what the heck? What are you doing? George Avocados walks by, and then they're like, alright, we gotta go. Keep an eye on him. So they leave his dad there, and then it cuts to Daphne's at the diner, and Rung still hasn't showed up. Poor thing. Quick cut back to the rest of the gang, and they're following George Avocados. They're following him, like, in the van, and then it gets super foggy, and then it leads them, like, right to the ghost truck, and they're like, what the heck? And then the truck turns on, and, oh yeah, so when they see the truck, it's, like, not on, it's just kind of, like, chilling. And then, truck turns on as they're investigating, and they hop in the mystery machine, and then they hide from it, and successfully get away, you know, as they do. Once again, quick cut, back to Daphne. The gang shows up, so does Rung, like, very last minute, shows up, and Fred just, like, starts complimenting Rung. Love that. And then they, like, switch ascots, whatever, anyways, because Freddy is just like, oh my god, like, you make ladders? That's so cool. Like, I really appreciate a good ladder. And then Rung was like, thank you, you know? Like, he got, like, really, like, thank you. I'm really touched by that. Just want to point out that the bowl plate, I don't even know what it is, but, like, so this restaurant's called the Bloody Steak. I'm pretty sure it comes back in a couple different episodes because it's just, like, they're a cute little local diner. But I want these, like, bowl plate things. They're, like, coffin-shaped. They are literally so cute. Rung leaves. Scooby's like, ooh, food. So, you know, he, like, goes to eat it, and he eats all the food, and then, like, at the bottom of it, there's a letter, and it's from Mr. E. And it has a disc inside, so then they go into the mystery machine, and then they're listening to this disc, and, you know, he's being all creepy, whatever. So he says something about, like, following the fog, and then they're all like, we don't want anything to happen to us. And Daphne says, like, you know, she's scared, and Freddy's like, I wouldn't let anything happen to you. And she's like, oh my god, really? And then he's like, yeah, I wouldn't let anything happen to my pals. Oh, and then he goes, you're all the same in my eyes. Poor Daphne, I literally feel so bad. You know, Mystery says follow the fog, so they're like, okay, I guess we're gonna go into the fog, whatever that means. They somehow figure it out. I don't know how they did it. And they find, like, tire tracks, and it just goes, like, straight into this, like, rock, like, cliff mountainside, and they figure out, there's, like, a secret passage that they, like, opened up this door, and then it's, like, this secret cave. There's a bunch of doorknobs. So they're like, so this is where all the missing doorknobs are. That's really weird. Okay. And then Daphne finds Theo Avocados, who is George Avocados' dad, that was, like, convicted and in jail and stuff. She finds his diary, and he is basically, like, admitting, yeah, I stole this crystal, and I hid it in one of the doorknobs, basically. Like, that's what he was saying. Then the ghost truck comes out of nowhere. Ah! And then this big chase scene happens, and Freddy is just like, he's such a skilled driver, driving backwards, driving around corners, like, you know, super, like, really rough conditions. And then he just, like, drives on a porch, like a really long porch, and then he drives on the roof, like, damaging, like, everything. And I was just thinking, like, how much do you think the damage cost is there? Because, like, I feel like, you know, driving on a roof and driving on a porch and destroying a lot of stuff, like, you know, I feel like that's a lot of damage costs, you know? Oh, so then Freddy's like, you know, he's been all smart and stuff, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna lead this truck directly to the trap that I set up earlier. So Fred's dad shows up, and he was like, I was working late at the office, and it sounds like there's a demon outside. And he's like, tell me it's true. Because, you know, obviously we love the mayor and him just being like, okay, tourist attraction, you know. The ghost trucker gets caught, falls out of the truck, and they're all like, you know, they all think it's George Avocados, because, like, that makes sense. Obviously, like, you know, he would, like, go do that so he can try to prove to people that his dad wasn't a thief. But in fact, it's Ron Latterton. And they're like, what the heck? You're rich. Why would you do that? And he's like, well, he wanted to obviously, you know, go find the right diamond that was in the crystal doorknob or whatever. And Rung says, you know, we make one product that lasts everybody, like, a lifetime, that, like, never needs to be replaced unless it's broken. And it's kind of really hard to break a ladder. So, you know, that's what I was inheriting. So, you know, obviously Rung is, like, arrested, whatever. He's taken care of. And then Daphne, like, goes up to him and she's like, I'll be taking this back. And then she takes back Fred's ascot. She's like, that's so much better, you know, cute little icon. And then the mayor was like, oh my gosh, your drops actually came in handy, Fred. And then Freddy goes, oh, you actually, like, are you gonna accept, like, what I want to do? And then the mayor goes, haha, of course not. Adults being adults in the Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated world, you know? And then it cuts to, like, okay, I apologize, one of my lights went out. It died. I hope this one doesn't die as fast. I only have a little bit left. Fred's dad is, like, obviously reelected because, like, you know, his son helped catch the bad guy, whatever, I don't know. So then there's, like, this big ceremony, and he's, like, thanking the kids for, you know, finding, like, they're returning the crystal and everything that was once stolen. And then he's like, I guess to honor them, he's like, yeah, Scooby becomes the chief officer of pizza affairs, you know, slay, you know, icon. And then it ends, and it's really cute. I love all these episodes, but I really have always enjoyed that one. I don't know why I've loved it so much, but I think it's just because, like, I like the bringing in of new characters, and, like, George Avocados comes back eventually, and I really like that. So for my little, like, Scooby snack this week is, I didn't really, like, exactly know what to do, but I think what I'm gonna kind of do is, like, deep dive into, like, different characters maybe each week, just do, like, a little, like, factoid. But so this week is about Daphne, and it's about the voice actor that plays Daphne, and her name is Greg Griffin, and she literally has over 600 IMDb credits of voice acting, and it's insane.
So my mic died in the middle of this. Luckily it was only the last 2 minutes. I thought I was gonna lose a lot more. But, instead, I'm just gonna do a voiceover because I really don't feel like, you know, completely trying to do my whole setup and everything because all my lights died and everything anyways. So what I was saying was some of the more iconic characters that Greg Griffin has voiced are Azula from Avatar The Last Airbender, which I love that show so much. I just finished rewatching it like a week ago. Sam Manson from Danny Phantom, and I also love her. She is literally amazing. I was her for Halloween a couple years ago. She was Vicky from Fairly Odd Parents. And she was also Mandy from Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I believe that's what that show is called. But yeah, she literally has over 600 different voice acting credits for, like, games, shows, literally, like, everything. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little tidbit. I think, you know, like, let me know if you guys really like more voice actor fun facts, or if you are more into like the show fun facts. But regardless, I hope everybody has a good rest of your day, night, whatever it is, and I'll see y'all next episode.